Hello guys, welcome to the Wednesday forecast, and let's get right into looking at the market. So the EU pair is still heavily range bound and it has still not broken the low or the high. So what I'm seeing is that we have now formed the liquidity areas below and above, and I want to see how we reach the low or the high. So do we have maybe a descending into the liquidity area and then we reverse? That is a high probability setup. Or maybe if we just break and retrace, then I'm not looking for a trade because it can just continue ranging. Or if we get a nice large breakdown, then I'm looking for a flag. And pretty much same thing to the upside. So I'm looking for an ascending structure and then I'm looking for a reversal trade. Or I'm looking for, if we just break and retrace, I'm staying out, so I'm sitting on my hands. If we do get a large break to the upside, then I'm looking for that flag, because now I'm seeing we have broken out with some conviction and some momentum, so I'm happy to place a trade. Now let's move on to the euro and the Japanese yen. So there was an opportunity to enter right about here. So this was a potential trade, and what I was seeing a large push to the upside. I was seeing a small pullback, not really a shift in momentum, and then I was seeing a continuation. So at this point I saw this candle with a clean close and I did have an order on, but then we got the next candle, and at that point this did not fit my plan, because on EJ I usually take only like setups where it taps my entry and then goes. So at this point, let me put this down also. I had a pending order and I was happy to take a trade, but when the next candle formed, it would show me personally an aggressive retrace, so I stayed out of this potential trade. And if some people did get in, they would have taken out some profit. But as I said, for me, this was more of an aggressive retrace, so was not happy to take it. But definitely something to backtest, because this does look good as a setup. So I'll definitely look into it in the future. And then, well, we formed an ascending structure. Right here, we started to form this ascending. And then we reversed to the downside, got a huge wick. So at this point, I was seeing this huge wick and I wanted to see a larger range, something like this. And then I wanted to see a flag. But what actually happened, we got an aggressive retrace. And at that point, this was a no trade for me. So currently I'm staying out. I'm waiting for the break of the low or the high. And what I can forecast on this pair is that we will continue ranging between the low and the high. Something like this. So then if we do continue ranging, we need to be careful about those liquidity areas. We need to see how we break into them. Do we break and retrace, or do we break with a really nice push and some nice conviction and then get maybe a flag opportunity. Also, what I will be looking for is, I am looking for a push down and then maybe a flag, because after an ascending I am looking for a trend to start to downside, something like this. Or I'm seeing if we will get a descending structure and then reverse to the upside. Look for a flag to go long. Same thing in the opposite direction, so I'm looking for if we will get maybe an ascending structure, then a reversal down and a flag to go short. Or if we will get a large push up, I'm looking also for a trade. And yeah, that's about it. So currently this is just signaling a range because of the huge wick, and we do have sort of an ascending into a descending structure. So most probably we will get sort of a range. But if we do get a large push up or a large push down, I am looking for a trade. And I'm also looking for a trend, as I said, to start to the downside, because we are coming from an ascending structure. That's about it for EJ. And now let's switch over to the Aussie pairs. So currently I am in a long trade right here. What I was seeing, so let me take this back. So what I was seeing right here is that we were coming from a descending structure. We were coming from this descending, and then we started to trend to the upside, got an aggressive retrace, so we got a V reversal right here, but then we continued to the upside. So we broke the high and continued, and I really did like this because, as I said, we were coming from a descending structure and we are now starting to trend to the upside. I'm seeing this push, pullback, and then another push. So for me, I classify that as a trend. Then I saw these pullback candles, which showed me no momentum shift. I actually saw weakness to the downside right here. So I did like this pullback. I liked the impulse prior, and then we got this nice large candle and almost no wick at the top. It didn't really close above the high by much, but for me personally, this one did fit my plan. So I placed a pending long order and then got tagged in, and now the price is just stuck between the low and the high. I did move to the upside a bit. So currently waiting to see what will happen. I am in a long trade and I am seeing if maybe we will continue to the upside so that I can scale into the position and remove some risk. So maybe get something like this, or get a large push up, look for a trade. If we start to ascend, I will look for a reversal to a downside, so something like this. If we start to descend, then I will look for a reversal to the upside. If we do get a V, I will look for a small range. Just a second. If we get a V, I will look for that small range, something like this, and then I will look for a push down and a trade, and the trade to go short. Also, I will see if we can get a large impulse down and then look for a nice flag, and that's about it. So currently seeing this nice trend to the upside coming from a descending structure, so I am liking this to go long. And let's see what will happen next. If maybe I get some scaling opportunities or I get stopped out. So if the price reverses, then maybe a trend starts actually to a downside. That's about it for AU. And now for my last pair, so the Aussie and the Japanese yen. This one, for me personally, there was no opportunity to enter on any trades right here. So we did start to form an ascending structure at this point, and then we did reverse to a downside, but we broke the low, retraced, broke the low, retraced, left a huge wick, and then another huge wick, and now we are stuck between the low and the high. So for me, this is just going from a range, as far as I can see, going from this range into another range, and I am expecting more of this sort of range bound price action because of the huge wicks and because we're just breaking the lows, retracing, breaking the lows, retracing. So if we get that larger range, then we need to be careful about the liquidity areas, so below and above. What happens in those areas? Do we just break and retrace, or do we actually break with some nice conviction and get a nice impulse to the upside? What I will be looking for, I will be looking for a descending to form and then a reversal to the upside. Or I will be seeing if we get maybe an ascending and then we reverse down. Or maybe we get a large impulse up, look for a flag. Or a large impulse down and also look for a flag to go short. But this is not really looking that good for any potential trades currently, and I'm waiting to see some better price action. So that is it for the forecast, and I will see you guys tomorrow. Hopefully we start getting some moves so we can get in on some more trades.